Hello and welcome to a Risk Views Watch Review. My name is Charles and today we'll be taking a look at the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Skyfall edition. This is a watch from my personal collection which I first purchased around September of 2017 or a little less than 2 years ago. It was the first watch that I purchased that was really at the luxury price point and from a very well established and reputable brand like Omega. And it was also the first watch that really opened my eyes and made me want to take collecting more seriously because of the characteristics and the quality that I saw that you were getting once you moved up to sort of this higher price point. So I'm going to obviously show you guys the watch today, and I hope you guys enjoy this review. So I have here the original box that the watch came with. I purchased this watch originally pre-owned in very good condition with full box and papers. The watch you're about to see now is not in as good condition as it was when I purchased it, obviously because I've worn it a lot and sort of beat it around a little bit for the last 2 years. So let me just open up this box and you can see the watch here, and I'll just put it on my wrist. So this is the watch, as I said, from the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra collection. And the Aqua Terra collection is a bit more of a dressy variation in the overall larger Seamaster collection. So you can see this watch wears very well on my wrist, which is 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimeters in circumference. This watch is 38.5 millimeters across the width of the case from 2 o'clock to 8 o'clock. So definitely a modern size, but still quite wearable, definitely not oversized like some modern watches are. The other dimensions, it has a 19 millimeter lug width, and so that might make it a little bit awkward for finding appropriate straps, but I've kept this watch on the original bracelet this entire time, and I've been very happy with the quality of the bracelet. It's quite thin as well. You can see it's about 12 millimeters thick. I'll put all the more accurate measurements in the video text on the screen so you can see it, and lug to lug is about 47 millimeters. So again, a very modern size but still very wearable. Talk a little bit about more about the bracelet here. The bracelet is actually, I was very impressed with the quality. I've owned some more affordable pieces in the past with bracelets as well, and I was not happy with the quality because they would often pull my hair or pinch my skin on my wrist. But I've had no such problems with this bracelet. You can see it's a double deployment action, so very robust, not friction based, so it's not going to accidentally come off the wrist. The other thing is it's very nice to size because you do get full and half links, so you have a lot of variability there. You actually get 2 half links, so you can say I have one here and another one on the other side there. And then you also get screws to attach to the links instead of pins. So screws are generally, a more robust, more reliable option than pins, which are often, friction based. So yeah, just a very well-made bracelet overall. I've kept it, as I said, on the bracelet this entire time. It's been very comfortable, and I don't really have any intentions to take off the bracelet. I actually have a backup one as well in case something ever happens or this bracelet gets too beat up. But I don't really see that happening. The bracelet, has some wear, but it's, again, very robust. I don't really expect it to, anything to happen to it. So yeah, back on the wrist, as I said, this is the Omega Seamaster Skyfall. And so it's the watch that James Bond actor Daniel Craig actually wore in the Skyfall movie. Well, obviously, not this particular watch, but this reference is one that he wore in the movie. And there are a few things that are unique to the Skyfall in terms of the overall Aqua Terra collection. First of all, it is the watch with the coaxial escapement rather than the newer master coaxial ones. It has the blue dial with the vertical stripes on the dial. I don't know if you can see that clearly. It looks like, yeah, there you go. It's a 38.5 millimeter case size, and it has, most notably, probably the window around the date, the window surrounding the date there at 3 o'clock. There is a newer Omega master coaxial Aqua Terra line that has a similar dial, similar case shape, case size, everything, but it does not have that window around the date there at 3 o'clock, in addition to being the master coaxial. So those are some ways you can tell the difference. If I take the watch off my wrist now, we'll take a closer look at the sides and the case back. So you can see that this watch does have a crown with the Omega logo, I guess, etched in it. It has brushed finishing across the sides of the case. You see there. And then it has some nice contrast between the finishing, the surface finishing, in that the brush sort of moves to a more polished finish as you move towards the lugs. And then there's some more brushing, I guess, on the inner side of the lugs there that you can see. The entire bracelet is brushed. Oh, I should mention that the other difference in between the new master coaxial ones, the master coaxial ones have polished center links for the bracelet, whereas this older style model does not. And honestly, I prefer the all brushed finishing, probably due to its more understated look. Oh, just move the camera there, sorry. So let me unscrew this. Actually, I guess we can take a look at the case back first. So this is the Omega coaxial caliber 8500. It does have some anti-magnetic properties, so this watch is, again, very robust. You know, it's something that you could wear very flexibly to all sorts of events. You could take it swimming because it is 150 meters or 500 feet water resistant. You could wear it to work. You could wear it to a wedding. You could wear it to more formal occasions. So that's really one of the biggest reasons why I picked it, because of its versatility and its robustness. It's not a watch that I have to worry about or baby, but it's, again, you know, flexible and versatile enough to where you can basically use it almost as your only watch, as long as you're okay with having a blue dial as your only watch, which I am. The movement caliber 8500 also has some anti-magnetic properties, so you know it's again, you know, very robust. You can sort of not have to worry about it accidentally getting magnetized or anything like that. So let me unscrew the screw down crown, which obviously contributes to the 150 meter water resistance. And the watch does feature, of course, hacking seconds. So if I pull the crown to its second position, the second hand stops, and I can adjust the time, of course. The other thing that's kind of cool about this watch is it has a quick set hour functionality. So I'm sure you're all familiar, a lot of watches have a quick set date functionality. This watch actually has quick set hour, which is also used for setting the date as well. So you can see here, I have the watch in its first position, the crown in its first position. And now if I turn the crown, normally what would happen is the date would change, right? But in this situation, you can actually see the hour hand changing. And if I were to move the time past 12 o'clock, then you would see, I guess go one more round, you would see the date change as well. So that's actually how you set both the hour and the date. And this is a really convenient feature, especially used for traveling, because what it allows you to do is quickly switch between time zones without having to worry about accurately setting the hour, the minute, and the second hand again. So normally, you know, you'd pull out the watch to its second position, you'd stop it, you'd hack it, and then you'd try to precisely adjust the time, you know, 1 hour forward or however many hours forward or back. With this watch, you don't have to worry about that. You can see the hour, the minute and the second hands are still moving, and I just have to move the hour hand you know, back and forth to whichever time that I desire. And also, again, this is used for setting the date as well. So if I do it full 2 rotations, then you'll see the date change as well. And you can actually change the date back as well. Although you have to turn it a few times for the date to go back. So yeah, just a very, you know, cool feature of the caliber 8500. You know, adds another bit of a interesting dimension to the watch and some practicality. Let me just screw the crown back down. And so, yeah, that's really all that I had. The last thing we can talk about is pricing. So I paid, back 2 years ago, close to around $3,000 for this watch. And you can see here I'm on WatchCharts.com, which has a really cool interface to allow you to see sort of the market value and analytics for the watch. And you can see the market value, according to this website, is about $3,200, and with the market range of about $2,900 to $3,500. If we look at the prices here, I have some sold listings. You can see here was one relatively recently. that sold for about $4,000. And this is because this is a brand new, this is a never sized, never worn. So, $4,000 for a brand new Skyfall, I think that's a pretty good deal. And then there's some that are as low as $2,500. Here's one, which is in, pretty worn condition, as I would describe mine as well. So, if you wear it hard, you're definitely going to lose a little bit of value, but I think this watch is a $6,500 retail, so, selling for less than half of that. So I really think it's a pretty good deal on the pre-owned market. And again, you can't buy these new anyways, so I guess new from Omega anyways, unless you can find like sort of like a new old stock one. So to me, this is really a great value, and if you like it, I definitely consider picking one up. The other thing is, it is the Skyfall edition. I don't know how much that means in terms of valuation or sort of long-term value retention. But, it's just a little bit more special that it is a watch that is, I guess, forever enshrined in history due to its connection with the James Bond Skyfall film, which personally I thought was one of the better James Bond movies as well. You'll see aren't any for sale on eBay right now, but they do come up from time to time. I still follow this watch on eBay, and like maybe once every couple of months or something like that, you'll see like a listing that's priced at a reasonable price. You see the last one sold on eBay for $3,500 with the full kit. So yeah, here's the watch again on my wrist. It's really, I guess, as I said, one of my favorite watches. I don't think I'm ever going to sell it. I enjoy wearing it very much. It's sort of my go-to. I do have other pieces in my collection right now. I have a Snowflake. I have a Tudor Black Bay 58, which I actually just put an order in for. But this watch, I think I'm never going to sell it. It's always going to have a spot in my collection, and it's definitely going to be a piece that I wear very often. So yeah, that is the Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra Skyfall video review. These are sort of this is my first review on this channel, and I'm doing them all in one take, so it might be a little bit rough around the edges, but hopefully I'll get better with that. And be sure you check out the Wrist Views website for some more written reviews, as well as WatchCharts.com for any more watch valuation, secondary market valuation, listing data, price data from eBay, from Reddit, Watch Exchange, from WatchUseek. And yeah, that's it. Again, I'm Charles. Thank you for watching.